So you've got yourself the Galaxy S7 and you're looking for some information on the best tempered glass screen protector, are you? Well, hold on tight, cause boy have I got one for you. This screen protector was given to me by Coral to review, and that being the case, my goal today is to help you make your purchasing decision, so if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Oh, and just one more thing before I forget. Ian here from Udroid Mania, and you're watching my review of the Coral full glass screen protector for the Galaxy S7. Now before we jump into the review, there's a couple of things to note about this protector. It's full glass, it's curved, it's got a 9H hardness rating, it's scratch resistant, it has an oleophobic coating, it's HD clear, super transparent, and the list just goes on. Now of course I'm going to show you how to do the install because I think that's part of the process, but first, I want to show you that because this is 3D glass to support the curved edges of the Galaxy S7, it does bend slightly. When I say slightly, I mean slightly, as you can see here. I say this because I got a little overzealous in my testing and you can see what happens when I bent the glass too much. Yup, it broke. Now this wasn't intentional when I was filming this review, and I gotta say it kinda freaked me out because I was planning on installing the gold for you guys. Luckily for me, I have another one on hand, so you'll be seeing the black variant today, so let's get this thing started. The install is simple, so we're gonna move fast, and that's because if you're a fan of my channel, then no doubt you've seen me do this many times. Take the contents of your package and clean your phone and wipe your fingertips. This is a must. Next, take the dry cloth and dry your phone. Then use the dirt film just like so to remove any debris. Just make sure you get every last speck here because you don't want anything underneath the screen. Next, you'll install the glass. The important thing you want to remember here is to take your time, and that's because you only get one shot. The last thing I do is wipe it down with the microfiber cloth. Now let's take a closer look and inspect the quality of the glass. I gotta say, it looks amazing. Even though it's a black glass on the gold phone, I'm rather impressed. Going in for a closer look, it does line up perfectly with the edge of the display, and I can feel a bit of the glass when I rub my finger on the edge. It's not obtrusive, and I'm nitpicking a bit here. This glass is curved in all the right places and it feels nice in the hand. Next, we'll test out touch sensitivity and see if there's any issues there. As you may or may not know, one of the biggest issues out right now with tempered glass protectors for the Galaxy S7 is touch sensitivity. I'll leave a link down below to sum up this issue, so go check it out after watching this video. With Coral and this full screen curved protector, they seem to have set themselves aside from the pack. As you can see here so far, every slide, gesture, and touch registers just as if you had nothing on your display at all. Scrolling up and down here, as you can see, it's buttery smooth, with the screen sliding from my slightest touch. Next, I tried tapping through some articles to make sure that the tap gesture worked. And again, as you can see here, I'm not really finding any issues. So that being the case, let's move on. Then I opened and closed the notification tray a couple of times. You guessed it, it works just as well. Back on my home screen, and remembering that this is TouchWiz, I slid that to the left and right a couple of times. Flawless. So let's move on. Now these next things I found lying around the house, and some of us may carry them in our pockets, backpacks, and things like that. I wanted to do this test specifically because recently I dropped another phone that has a tempered glass screen protector on it, and when I picked it up I was very unhappy when I found that it had been scratched. So I picked up the scissors and went to work because they're pretty sharp. I used a good bit of pressure, as you can see here by the glass slightly bending as I press. Upon inspection, I couldn't find a single scratch, so I thought I must have done something wrong, because this can't be right. I scratched the phone using the scissors for about a good maybe 2 or 3 minutes, and I can't find a single thing here. I don't know, maybe the scissors aren't sharp enough. So I'll tell you what, let me get another phone with a different screen protector and try the same thing again. So I got my Note 5 here, and I tried to mimic the same test using the same amount of pressure. This time on this protector, there's definitely scratches that are visible. And if you look closely, and I'll zoom in a little bit here, then you'll catch the reflections of the lights and the scratches. And I'm going to try this again just to make sure that the scratches are really there. And as we inspect the phone again, you can see our eyes do not deceive us. This glass protector is definitely getting scratches. Moving on, I went back to my Galaxy S7, and this time I tried a lot harder. I didn't notice anything at first, but then I saw what I thought might be scratches. So I grabbed my microfiber cloth and began to wipe them a bit, and as you can see, this phone's clearly not scratched. I'd say it's time to try something else. Next, I picked up the pen, I repeated the process trying to scratch the glass, and then I closely inspected it. To my surprise again, nothing. Alright, so let's try something else that might cause a little bit more damage. I found this screwdriver, and as you can see here, it's got a pretty sharp head, so let's try that. I'm not sure if you can tell here on camera, but I'm pressing pretty firmly, but trying not to crack the glass. I tell you, this coating that's on here is pretty slick and it just makes this thing glide. Again, let's take a look and see what we can find. And can you believe it? So far, nothing. You know, I definitely thought there'd be some scratches by now. Okay then, from time to time, we all have change in our pockets. So let's check that out and see how the screen protector holds up. And I can tell you right now, I don't have high hopes for the quarter. And this is because it's a lot less sharp than the screwdriver. And as you can see here, there's not a single scratch. So we'll try the screw. It's got a rather pointed and sharp head. And I'll also mention as you're watching this that this video is being played back at normal speed. I didn't speed anything up, and my edits are only to keep the video from being about 20 minutes in length, so I cut what I could, where I could. So I'll just give this another second or two longer, and then, as you can see, there's not a single scratch. Last up, I took some keys here, and this is because sometimes, somehow, my phone always ends up in my pocket with my keys, and this is something that I hate. So let's give this one a nice decent scratch, and then we'll take a look and see if we can find any damage. Just a bit longer, and as you'll see here, I do notice a few things on the screen protector and I'll point those out, and then we'll take the microfiber cloth and see whether or not they're really scratches. So as it turns out, after wiping down the phone, those things aren't really scratches. Man, after all that, I gotta say I'm thoroughly impressed. One thing I wanted to point out, when the display is off, I did notice that it doesn't quite adhere in the center, but since this is a full glass covering a curved display, I think I can forgive this, but I wanted to point it out to you nonetheless. Next, I gamed a bit on this phone, and I had no issues with that. When it came to the game and the display responding, it worked just as I expected. So the last thing I tried before forming my opinion about this protector was to see how well it would work with a case. So I grabbed my VRS Design Crystal Bumper by Veris and got to work. This case is a two-piece bumper style case, so let's go ahead and separate it and get started. This case is pretty easy to install, just slide it in, and it goes on with no issues even though the tempered glass screen protector is there. I then slide on the bumper starting from the bottom, again, no issues. The case doesn't feel too tight or like the glass is moving. I gotta say it looks pretty awesome, and you're gonna have to search long and hard to find some issues with it. As we take a look around the case, you'll notice that you've got total protection now for that lay on the table support. Overall, I have to say that Coral kept the quality high on this one. This screen protector fits precisely on the phone, and it has all the proper cutouts. The protector is extremely durable as we all saw, and they've made sure not to introduce any touch sensitivity issues, so your phone is not impacted at all. Is this the best full screen curve protector on the market? As of today, I'd say you're going to be hard pressed to find a better one. Okay, so there you have it. If you're interested in this protector, there's a link down below where you can pre-order. Coral was nice enough to give us a code for $5 off, so be sure to use it. It starts shipping April 1st, so be sure to check it out. If you'd like to see more content like this, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. As always, I'd like to thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you in my next one.